Alright. So we got Lions versus Redbyte on EE Inferno. Who do you obviously Lions has a big advantage, but what do you think Redbyte's chances are of an upset?
I would honestly go ahead and give them like probably 5 to 10%. I mean, it's very low. The only thing they have really going for them are Cosmo and Trizzer. Pretty good French players. That's about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard of many of the other people on Redbyte besides the two people you just mentioned, so I think you're gonna need see some nice performances by them and like good overall just team play, because I don't think Lions are the type of team that are gonna let just a couple of people pick them apart. They usually play pretty team based, and
Lions is a pretty smart team as far as like the Euros go. They're probably pretty stratted up going into this tournament, considering it's their first big tournament in quite a while. They've been playing extremely well online. They're not really aimers, and I mean, I can't see a team like this beating them. They have trouble against like the top teams with aim, but definitely not with tactics. And I don't see Redbyte picking them off in earlier game situations, which is what they would need to do to upset a team like this.
yeah, I definitely think that for someone like Redbyte playing Lions, Lions definitely use a lot of teamwork, and you don't usually catch them by themselves, so like the way to beat them is usually to use like strats and to execute on them and just like outplay them like tactically, but I don't think these guys are gonna have that sort of team play. Although I could be wrong, I've never actually seen these guys play.
Correct me if I'm mistaken, but Cosmo and Trizzer, were they on a team with MSX recently? And they were on a top French team, and I just can't, it can't come to my head the name.
Cosmo's played with MSX before. I don't know if it was recently, maybe like a year ago or something. And Trizzer, I don't know what team he's been on. He was on like a French team, but then he got replaced, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this tournament to see if a French team finally like steps up again in the international scene. It feels like every time there's a tournament in France, there's a French team or two that step up and get a big upset win. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if something like that happens at this tournament. Maybe a random win from a team like with a couple French people like Redbyte or even 3D Max. You know, like upsetting a team, just knocking them out of the group pretty much.
Yeah, the thing about these groups is, the way that these groups are set up is it's basically, you kind of look at the group and you say, alright, these two teams are going to advance. Pretty much all the groups are like that, so if any of these teams can get an upset win, they can probably knock one of the good teams out of the group, like pretty easily, just by the way that they're set up.
Yeah, if you look at this top group, who has, is it again ESC and Lions? If any of those teams loses to like one of these lower tier teams, chances are they're not going to advance, assuming that the other teams beat the lower tier team. So if any upset happens, it's really just going to destroy a team's shot of advancing, since only 2 advance.
That's why you really don't like, a lot of times if a team loses, people think like, oh well, they must have not tried that hard. You don't not try versus a team, even if you think you're a lot better than them, just for the the chance that they upset you.
I was told that Cosmo and Drizzer played for Millennium. Thank you, Rumsey.
Alright, so I think it's about to go live. They might be knifing.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. CS tournament actually starting almost close to on time. What are the chances?
Normally got this nice 2-hour wait minimum. Can't complain too much from like a 30-minute delay.
I mean, the last tournament last week, I mean, that was almost close to starting on time. I.e. 3 hours late.
Alright, looks like they're having a knife round mid. Knife round's always one of those interesting things for certain maps. Maybe not as big on a map like Inferno, but when you get to maps like Train and Nuke, and that CT side can really help do that momentum.
I feel like redbyte almost needs to start CT side to even put up a fight right here, so I'd say this knife round's important for them.
Yeah.
That's oof. Yeah, that's not very good for redbyte.
Yeah, Lions are really, you're like renowned for having really solid CT sides. I mean, they have good strats, but I mean, their CTs are usually pretty solid on all maps, even maps like Dust 2.
They recently upset Get Right quite a bit in a best of 3 online when they beat SK. SK got a little bit of revenge though in the following BO3. I believe that was the qualifier for IEM, right, Corey?
Yeah. And then SK ended up playing the second one too.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to start off 2 guys going ramp. Looks like they're just going to spot it out, maybe push back this B guy. Force them to try to get them to force 2B. They're getting quick flanked though from mid. Wow, Cosmo taken down.
I mean, this is
gonna be very hard. Fear, here's them. He's playing very smart. He's gonna get a guy pushing lane likely soon.
Basically, like, redbyte needs to get the bomb and hopefully get a kill or 2. Yeah, so, like, if redbyte really needs...
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the worst thing ever because they got the bomb down, so they'll only have to save 1 time. But it would have been nice if some of those guys could have got kills to maybe drop AKs.
A huge problem with redbyte's strat that round is they were just totally banking on Lions playing honest, and honest, I mean, Lions didn't. They pushed down middle and flanked the 2 guys B, who assumed that they wouldn't be pushing down middle.
Yeah.
Probably a bad assumption for redbyte to make right there.
I mean, you never assume people aren't going to push mid on Inferno. I mean, it might not happen all the time, but on LAN and stuff where people are saving strats for that they practice online, you know.
redbyte full saving this round. Probably going to buy it full next round then. Looks like they're going to hit A.
Yeah, it's just a Glock Eco here. It should be an easy round for Lions. Eco's having a little bit of trouble in that winter room. That's a pretty expected round. redbyte should be buying this round though.
redbyte still without a frag on the 3rd round right here. Hopefully they can go ahead and change things up here. Looks like they're just going to run a standard default, 2 ramp, 3 ult.
Yeah, Lion's playing like pretty aggressive here at the middle. Neil's just peeking down. Renowned for using a Falmus.
Yeah, Zanil, famous Falmus. He's one of the few
players that will drop a Colt and pick up a Falmus.
If you've ever watched him, sometimes he'll pick up a Colt and all of his team will buy up Colts. And he'll drop the Colt and buy a Falmus if he's very rich and can afford to do so. Seen him do it a couple times.
Yeah, redbyte's just playing really sloppy this round. Just kind of walking up, getting pop flashed on. Not really anyone near them to trade. You don't really want to be walking up middle alone.
Another flawless round by Lions. Coming out strong so far.
Not even a single death.
Yeah. Looking ahead, assuming that Lions wins this match, who do you have advancing over them in, say, ESC, since it's likely that again will advance? Do you think ESC
probably
has
Lions,
what it takes?
but ESC has the skill. If they can have Maudie playing on like good form, you know, you could see them taking a win over Lions on one mat for sure.
What do you think the maps are that favor each team in a matchup like that?
I think ESC relies on maps that like they can just rifle walk around. They don't really need a ton of ops, like Nuke, Inferno, you know, just like the standard walk-ups and just kind of pug around, because I think that line is pretty new. They have.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd favor well on a map like, you know, Train or something where lines would be more prepared.
I would really like to see some Dust too and see Nico lurking out of that middle. That's for sure. The guy's
pretty good at it.
Pretty good at going middle. You guys will see if it happens.
Just another standard round by Lions. They're not going as aggressive as they were last round, but interestingly, they just have Sneal play right mid, not really opping. He just bombs it.
Redbyte taking brackets, yeah.
That's a good bracket retake by Lions. Cosmo left in a 1v4.
He did get the first frag though for Redbyte.
Yeah, it looks like he's just holding on the group, gets flanked by Nico.
Something that I found pretty interesting about that round was while Redbyte was taking bracket and everything, right? Redbyte had a guy watching the B flank, and Lions kept 2 at B that whole time, even though 4 people were taking bracket, maybe 3 and then 1 halls. Most teams would rotate 4 towards A in a situation like that, which I found was pretty strange. Especially in the middle of a bracket retake to keep 2B. It's kind of odd.
Yeah. I think maybe they're trying to make sure that they don't get baked on.
Yeah, I guess so.
People taking brackets. It is a bit risky. You'd think that guy would rotate a little bit, but you never know what happens in a practice. Maybe that's something that often engages them.
Redbyte losing 5 rounds straight like this is just going to keep buying up for the rest of this half.
Sneal's the only one to actually die so far. Still flawless records for the others. Termy's got a pretty impossible round here. It's most likely going to be killed by a threat. Lions playing pretty smart, even though they're up so big and they have so much money.
I feel like Lions has the most experience as far as really getting the shaft in group play. Maybe like getting a few ties and just not advancing or getting upset by a bad team. They seem to have such horrible luck in group play that I can't see them taking this lightly at this tournament. Yeah. They know every round matters.
Eco with 2 spray kills and Banana, so an eco for Redbyte. Which is a little bit surprising considering they should have enough to just AK half armor. Maybe they don't think that's enough.
Well, it's weird because they bought last round, and last round their money situation was likely worse than this round, so...
Yeah. I think maybe they might just want to get full nades and try and do some sort of execute instead of just walking around, which obviously hasn't been working for them. I mean, they could potentially still get like 5 or 6 rounds if they start stringing them together, but they have a lot of work to do breaking their money, like the little amount of deaths that Lions have had. What to have.
That was a very nice burst by Zeal. Termy's going to be left in a 1v2 right here. Trying to get Redbyte their first round. Both Lions guys coming from spawn.
Spotted him at the... got 2 HP.
Threat takes him out. Threat playing fantastic, which is amazing for my dream team.
Yep. He's most likely. We got another round here. Should be a full buy Redbyte. Probably the most money they've had all half, actually. They saved that round and got bombed down, so...
Yeah, Cosmo's opping up, actually. So, we'll see how that goes for him. With the way Lions is playing a bit aggressive, it may benefit him.